welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Blackfeather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now, plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately. 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or Raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out, and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I am super excited for another Hunters of Calamity 2, and I'm really excited to do this one as the last session we had, it ended with a very unstable teleport and people ending up in places all over the place, and nobody really knows where they are just yet, so we're going to address that here right off the bat. Before we do jump into all the action, though, we're going to let everybody introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about their words are hard. Tell us a little bit about their character and themselves. So we'll start with Zan. Tell us a little bit about Jeb and yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm Zan. I'm a professional DM and content creator for 5e, World of Darkness, and a whole bunch of other systems out there. I also do quite a lot of this here online streaming stuff, and I'm working on a few writing projects right now. So I guess I'm taking commissions for fantasy writing. I don't know. I don't really know how that works. But yeah, you can catch me on Twitter at InsanityTTRPG or on my website, insanitygaming.com. And today I am playing Jeb, who has had a very bad time after drinking some very questionable liquor. And yeah, poor guy. Hope he turns out okay.
Awesome. Nikki's going to be joining us here shortly, so we'll have her introduce herself in a bit. Pat could not be here tonight, but he gave me a bunch of really fun ideas that may or may not happen in the game. So that'll be fun, and we should be able to see him next week. So that'll bring us down to Alex. Tell us a little bit about Al and yourself.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm not good at being first at this thing. I'm a digital artist. I'm playing Allison slash Al, Albot. She's a robot looking for her sister. She carries a gun. She steals everything. By the way, you still need to let me know what I stole last game because I wasn't here.
So I'm trying to remember.
Or did I just shove more rocks in my pocket?
That's where we were. We were in the cave still.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Because I remember...
Ooh, do I still have... Am I still holding on to the torch?
Probably.
Hey, that's mine now.
I do think it was taken out with everyone, so...
That's mine now.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Other than that, there wasn't really a whole lot to steal last session. All right, we'll hop over to IC Historian. Tell us a little bit about Lula May and yourself.
Hello, friends. I'm IC Historian. IC Historian, all of the places I feel like being found on this here fair internet. I play Lula May Jessup. Lula May is a gray market arms dealer turned lemonade mascot turned gray market arms dealer who is, hanging out trying to figure out what to do with these weird crystals that, teleported her to somewhere. So yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Awesome. And then last but not least, Michael, tell us a little bit about Amanda and yourself.
Aren't we forgetting about Zan?
Zan went first.
Did Zan first.
Oh. Hello, I am Michael Wayne. You give me a clip, I'll give you a chip. Happy Ace Week for all of those on the Ace spectrum. I play Amanda Starr, the monk that tries their best to be helpful, but tends to be a disappointment, such as some dire dogs that would not let her love them. That's just rather unfortunate. You can find me both on Twitter and Twitch under handle Michael Wayne, and let's take this on.
All right. That just leaves me. I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which involves a whole ton of stuff, from tabletop related things, art, voice acting, all kinds of things. My link tree is right there in chat. And then also wanted to mention a few things before we jump in. Just real quick about sponsors. You can find out all the information there in chat, but shout out to Grinding Coffee Company. It's really good coffee. You can get 13% off by using the link in chat or the code RAVVYN. And then, of course, a couple of my own projects that sponsor the channel, which are Fundamental RPG. It's the system that this game runs on. I am still currently working on 2nd edition. It is nearly ready to go out. I just mostly just have to do formatting and make it look pretty now. And then you can find the 1st edition book on Amazon. Links right there in chat. And then finally, I just launched Intrepid, which is a brand of sort of like real-life adventuring gear. Mostly sportswear and casual wear, and then accessories like mouse pads and water bottles and things like that. Some pretty cool stuff. You can check that out in the link in chat as well. Hey, Gnorlax and Meeble, good to see you. And then finally, there is the game tweet in chat at every, or rather at 5, 10, 20, and 30 interactions. Different things will happen in the show, and interactions are considered retweets or comments. So the first one happens at 5, and that's when the cast gets a d6 to add to their pool that you'll see down there at the bottom. And then, of course, as Past Me said in the intro, you can always make donations for various things to happen as well. And you can do that through raven.rocks or coffee.com/raven. And there's cool little alerts for coffee donations now. So pretty neat stuff. That is all that I need to cover. So we're going to jump into the game.
Raven, there's no links to the Twitch in the post.
And yeah, there's a reason for that. The link is on the picture. It's I'm doing an experiment with Twitter's algorithm to see if links cause it to not be seen as much. A few people were talking about that recently, and we're testing a theory. Hey, how's it going? Tocho Plays? Hope I'm saying that right. Hello. So as I mentioned, last session, everybody went into the, not exactly a treasure vault, but it was a vault of sorts, where they found the sort of origin of the dark lyridium that was, all over this cave. And it seemed like it had been kept there for a reason, and that reason being to keep it out of the hands of people that can use magic, such as Wesley and Amanda. Whoever built the treasure vaults had a vast society before they went virtually extinct, and it appears that this dark lyridium was in large part responsible for that extinction. Kind of made all the magic users go crazy, get super power hungry, and end up, destroying everything. So there were some safeguards to keep people that can use magic away from it. Our party circumvented them and disabled them. So that's fun. And I'm sure that will by no means come back to bite anybody. Then they left. And I can't remember exactly why off the top of my head that you needed to teleport. Oh, right, because the vehicles got destroyed. You're out in the middle of nowhere with no vehicle, that's what it was. But right at the last second, the teleport became unstable. Everybody had one last couple of thoughts before sort of being swallowed up into a black void. And we're going to address where all those characters ended up. So, I'm going to roll to see who goes first. Alright. Because I can't decide who I want to pick first. Oh, Lula May's first. Okay, this is going to be fun.
Oh boy!
So, Lula May, you said the last thought you had was wanting to get back somewhere where you could fix this and worrying about having to go back to the lemonade stand and worrying about Timothy Racket and all that, right?
Yeah, she just wasn't hoping to go back to the place that I have a feeling she went back to.
Well, the good news is when you open your eyes, you're not in the lemonade stand or your workshop or anything like that. You're not back in that area. You're in a Jeep that's currently traveling very fast down a dirt road, in the lap of a very startled Timothy Rackett, who's driving said Jeep.
Oh, fun. Okay. All right.
What would you like to do about this situation?
Well, I'm sending you a quick message.
All right.
I think that she would do that thing in the movie where like you look like everywhere but at the person. So she's just gonna look around, just kind of like, she's like pumped that she's not back in the city. She's like stoked for that. And then she realizes who she's with.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks down and goes, "Oh, hi Tim, how are you doing?"
And he pretty much just looks at you with just the widest, most bewildered eyes, and just going like, "What's going on here? There's people falling out of the sky while I'm trying to drive my Jeep. I'm gonna crash. I can't see the road. Get out of my lap, woman."
"Oh, Tim, you never were any fun." And she's gonna like get into the passenger seat.
He, to his credit, manages to keep control of the Jeep. After being alone on a long, dusty drive and suddenly having somebody in their lap while they're trying to drive, they keep control of the Jeep, and they look over at you and go, "Why? How? Where? What's going on?"
You know, Tim, sometimes in life there are just things that we as mere mortals cannot comprehend nor describe in our paltry language. And she's gonna like settle as if like, of course I'm in this Jeep. Of course I'm. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm not here? And she's gonna like adjust the seat and like settle and just sort of like be her charming, like normal self. Very much the self that she was with, like very much the her that she was like when they were doing their whole like advertising for vault hunting shtick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And
Okay.
she's like definitely like oozing, like layering on the charm a little bit.
All right. Let's on that note do a charm roll to see how effective this is.
Ugh. I got a 14, I think.
A 14.
I have charismatic. Does that let me re-roll?
I believe it does, if I recall correctly. You can re-roll any presence roll, as I recall.
Yeah. That's a 27.
All right, it's a 27, much better. So he just sort of takes a deep breath, holds onto the steering wheel, and sighs. He goes, "All right, we'll table that discussion for now. What are you doing in my Jeep?"
I think, Tim, that perhaps, you always did say that the fates would find a way to bring us together again. And as much as it causes me deep, unending spiritual distress to say this, perhaps you were right. And she kind of like gives her whole like, Like, I'm just a woman. What do I know? Shrug.
Sadly, that would work on Tim. Tim's an asshole.
Yep.
So Tim just sort of wipes his brow and with the back of his hand, and is just like, "Oh, I meant that in more of a metaphorical sense, but thanks, universe. I guess this works." Well, I was heading out to go to a meeting, but I could blow that off, and we could go see a nice movie. Maybe pick up a bite to eat.
Does Lulame have any idea? Like, we're on a dirt road. Like, does Lulame have any idea, like, where we are?
Maybe roll education for that. See if you're familiar enough with the surround. Nope.
Nope, that is an 8.
It's a dirt road. It looks like every other dirt road on this backwater planet.
Okay. I mean,
and you're not sure where you are.
Dirt road, like, with nothing on it?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look dissimilar from the roads that you've been driving on around the Church of the Sleeveless Way base, but you couldn't tell how close you are to it.
Okay. So do I still have any of my stuff with me from, like, do I have any of the rocks? Do I have my tools in my pockets?
Oh yeah, everything you had on you when you teleported, you still have.
Perf.
You just ended up someplace you didn't expect.
Perf. Okay, Lulame is going to smile, and thinking at the very least, like, you know, Tim's not a dire dog, so, you know. So, yeah, right? Like, in the grand scheme of how her day has been, she's gonna sort of smile and be like, well, you know, Tim, I mean, if you're already heading to your meeting, I mean, look, I just literally fell out of the sky on you. I don't want to, like, blow up your entire schedule. Like, I can wait. I mean, shit, I don't even know where I was gonna end up, so I'm just happy that, you know, nobody's snarling at me or serving me potentially processed minion product. She kind of, like, shakes her head, like, says the last bit, like, under her breath.
At that, he looks over. It's like, oh, do you mean Ted brand canned meat product?
I mean, it might have been Ted. You know, the same, like, kind of like, oh, I don't know, little old me.
Oh yeah, that's it's surprisingly good stuff. You know, they don't actually put, like, people in that, right? They feed the Teds to the pigs, and then the pigs make the meat.
Oh, they don't. Oh, see, Tim. You know, I was poking around like a Ted omelet, and I said, you know who would know exactly what is in this is Tim Rackett. Tim Rackett would know. Oh, Tim, I'm so glad I ran into you. I mean, not as badly as I could have run into you given the speed and trajectory at which you're currently traveling. But, you know, I mean, all things considered, this quite nice. And she's going to look around. Is it the same Jeep that we were in before, just not wrapped with Lulame?
Yeah, it's same model and everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he looks very flattered. He's, you know, hook, line, and sinker buying into this flattery and flirty banter back and forth. And he proceeds to list, like, and of course he starts with, now, you know, I don't work for Head Brand. I couldn't say exactly what all's in it, but you know, here's the list of ingredients that they put on their website, and, like, list everything that's actually in it.
Okay, and Lulame is going to act as though this is, like, riveting information, even though what she's I apologize. My eyes are watering aggressively.
No worries.
What she's really kind of figuring out as she's, like, thinking is, how is she going to get this Jeep and get rid of him? Like, that is number one. So,
you should give him a bottle of Black Betty.
Yeah, so she is going to, like,
Wait, I saw you mention something about that.
Yeah, so she's...
What did you say was in it?
It's
no! That's a bad idea!
I mean, depends on where... so she's gonna be like, Now, Tim, who would you be meeting all the way out here? I mean, aren't you afraid of dire dogs and whatnot?
Well, I mean, normally I would be if I wasn't in, my very nice fancy Jeep here. But it's got these fancy little whistles on the front that make it so the dogs go away.
Does it? Oh, that's so smart. You're so smart to get that installed. Which button specifically would that be? I mean, there's a lot of buttons here, and of course, you know me, Tim. I'm no good with vehicles, much more in the domestic side of things. She says with her +10 in mechanical engineering.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lula is selling this so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he explains that there's no button; they're just installed on the front of the Jeep. They just work automatically as you run. Probably gives you like a detailed over explanation of how the air goes into the whistle because of the speed of the car, and it's a long, drawn out, boring explanation of stuff that you probably already know. But he does eventually get around to saying that about his meeting. He goes, well, currently I'm heading out to meet with some people from Danco. We're going to talk about the treasure vault hunting initiative that we've been doing out. I've got to give some reports and run some numbers by them, and it's all terribly dry, boring stuff.
Well, I suppose, I probably wouldn't be very good, but that's a very important meeting, Tim. I would not want to take you away. You are a very important businessman, and I can wait. I mean, look, listen, I may just like stretch out here, have myself a little nap, It's been a long day, Tim, a real long day.
He kind of just gives you a quizzical look, like, that look when somebody makes a reference to something, like a show, and you don't know what it is, but you know it's a reference.
Yeah.
You're just not sure what it is. That's kind of the look on his face. It's just like, I know you're talking about, there's more to that, but I have no idea what you're talking about. So,
right.
He looks that way for a few seconds, and then you can just sort of see the mental decision to just ignore it, and nod. And he drives for a little bit and in silence.
What? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but what do I see around the car? Like, does he have like a briefcase, a coffee cup? Like, what do I see? Like, just not being too conspicuous about looking around, but like, what am I seeing in this car?
So just a quick glance around, not even needing to roll for it or anything like that. You can immediately see he's probably got like a Danco brand travel mug. Or maybe it's an Intrepid brand travel mug in the cup holder, filled with something. There's a briefcase probably next to your feet if you slid over into the passenger seat. Maybe like a pair of sunglasses hanging from something up by the rearview mirror. Aside from there's not a whole lot in the vehicle. Hey, thanks, Michael. So much for that $4 donation of 2d6 to the cast.
Okay. So
yeah, not a whole lot. Is there anything specific that you'd be looking for?
No, I mean, she just kind of wanted to see the lay of the land and figure out like just anything that she might be able to use. Okay. Huh.
You might, you probably would also notice, you teleported out and it was light outside.
Yeah.
And currently it looks like very, very early evening. So like the sun is almost all the way down.
Okay. All right. So, I think so. Lula May is she's gonna like sit and like kind of like process like what she really like wants to do, right? And she is going to like just sort of make like very like easy small talk, like, and keep up the sort of like flirtatious, like playing to his ego, definitely. And while she's doing that, she's trying to figure out like where they would be in relation to the city.
Okay.
Because her ultimate goal is going to be to get this car.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, did we lose somebody? Oh, we lost Zan.
Yes. He's
Zan's
having
having
technical
some,
difficulties.
yeah, some internet issues.
Yeah.
So everybody's mostly where they're supposed to be. You're just sort of half in video frame. Zan should be back though, and we'll
I'm
push things back where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Um,
So, how long? So it's early evening time.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. All right. So yeah, she's gonna say. So Tam, tell me. I mean, did any of the vault hunting groups have any luck?
no, not so far. We found plenty of places where the vaults are not. Which, and he sort of gives like a nervous chuckle. He's like, to some people, might seem like a downside, but every place that a vault isn't that we know about is a place that we don't have to check. So, and the good news is most of these teams have left the workforce permanently. So
That's good. You don't have to pay out that indemnity plan you were talking about.
exactly.
That's good. That was smart business planning, Tim. You did an excellent job.
Yeah, he's eating all of this up. You've got him probably right where you want him.
Yeah, I imagine she's sort of like batting eyelashes, which I would do, or but it would look like I was having some sort of problem. So I think that what she's gonna do is take a look at his travel mug. What does it look like there's something in there?
Yeah.
Right,
as
like
you take a
like is there like okay, so there's something in there, all right.
as you take a closer look, you might be able to tell that it smells like lemonade.
Oh, okay. She's gonna like put her hand like on his arm, like not like to jerk him around or anything, but just put her hand on his arm and be like, Tim, is that lemonade I smell?
Yeah, he goes, oh, yeah, I picked up a case while I was in town. You make good stuff.
Oh, thanks, Tim. I just, a girl's got to have a hobby, I guess. It's gone quite well. It's been quite popular. And she's in the back of her mind thinking about her flask full of the explodey juice that she took.
Uh-huh.
And so she's going to basically keep flirting with him until he gets to the destination of his meeting.
I mean, if you want to blow him up in transit, I mean, that's up to you, but
well, no, because she wants the car. And so she's gonna be like, now Tim, you seem actually like a little nervous. Is everything all right? I mean, I'm sure they'd be more than happy with your progress on the project. Like, as you said, if we knock off potential vault locations, I mean, that can only be good, right?
He just sort of nervously chuckles. He also said, like, sort of under his breath, but you were able to pick it up when you said a girl's gotta have a hobby. He's like, lucrative hobby. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm sure the meeting will be fine. I just, well, it's I was driving by myself alone with my own thoughts, and now you're here, and I haven't stopped the car, and that's, a little alarming, a little nerve upsetting.
Yes, I understand, and especially, meeting with the people like at Danco. I mean, oh, I've heard the awful things they do to people that don't meet their expectations. I'd be shaken personally. I would be shaken like a leaf in a hurricane.
Um, he just tries to play it off cool. He mostly succeeds in seeming like oh no, I'm not that worried. But you can tell there's a little bit of nervousness that's not just because you appeared out of thin air. It's also about the meeting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, I know that like the last 4 or 5, 7 quarters have been, below, but I'm sure they'll understand. So what she's trying to do is like be super, say the words that are super supportive, plant seeds of his insecurity, like not like openly to be, but to sort of like just
Yeah.
bring up like, oh, I mean, I'm sure they won't have to give you 4 needles at the dentist. You'll be fine. Like it's that type of a thing.
Let's do let's do I'll let you decide if you want to do daunt or speech for this one, because I could see it falling under either.
I think she's gonna do speech because like she's not actively trying to threaten him.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I re-roll another presence thing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
absolutely.
Yeah, that's better.
20. Nice.
That's why I took that. That's why I took that asset.
It's a good one. Okay, so yeah, you succeed. He was just a little bit nervous before he started this trip, and he's steadily just getting more and more unsure of himself as the trip goes along.
And she's gonna like put her hand on his elbow and kind of lean in and be like, "Listen, Tim, you've got this, right? Like you've been doing this a long time, and you are the expert. But you know what my daddy was." My daddy was in the mechanical business. I mean, I don't know what it is. I'm just a lemonade girl. And you know what my daddy used to do before a big meeting with the big wigs. And she kind of laughs and she's like, right before he went in, he used to take a sip out of his flask. Isn't that just the darndest thing?
Tim just sort of like reaches into his coat, into the inside pocket, and you hear like a metal tap as he taps on his flask. He goes, "Huh? How about that?"
She reaches in and takes out her flask that she has the boom boom juice in from 2 times ago, and it is her dad's flask. It's like engraved, and she's like, I got it right here. He left me the recipe, poor man. And she just sort of looks up like, miss him every day, Tim. Every day I miss that man.
All right.
And she's gonna open the top of it, and she mixed it with like a little bit of lemonade, so it smells kind of like a very, very strong lemon drop martini, right? Nice. Because it's got that like kind of nail polish remover gasoline, but it also has like a ton of like lemonade flavoring. So that's what it smells like. And she's got a smile, and she's gonna look like she's taking a sip, but not take a sip.
All right, give me a blend-in roll to do that in a moving Jeep on a dirt road.
14.
Would you like to use a D6?
What? Oh yeah. Oh, homegirl's using a D6. That's not blowing up today. Oh no, that brings it to a 19.
Okay, good enough. You do spill a little bit, just like down your chin. So you get like a couple of drops on your shirt or collar, like right around your neck area. But you don't ingest any, and it does look like you did.
She's gonna giggle and like dab at it with like a handkerchief, like, oh, silly me, I can't believe I did that.
My gosh. Okay. It's around that time that you he pulls over. You get to it just looks like a giant rock in front of a small mountain or a large hill, and then the rock just sort of opens up
Okay.
into a tunnel, very like secret agent style.
Does it open automatically, or does Tim do anything to get it to open?
It looks like Tim pushes a button on the Jeep
Great.
that opens it.
He's gonna watch that like a hawk.
And then he starts to drive in. Were you offering him the flask or?
Not yet. Nope.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, then I think
she's gonna get like a little bit more like not a lot more giggly, but just a little bit more to make it seem like she's a lightweight, and that she will be much more amenable to hanging out with him after his meeting.
Okay. Sounds good. I think we'll pause that there.
So we haven't gone. He hasn't got out of the car or anything yet, right?
No, he's just driving into that tunnel. And like the rock will close behind you as soon as the Jeep's all the way in. And then Nikki, I had a question for everybody at the beginning of the session, while we were still doing the setup stuff, and that is, what was your character's last couple of thoughts as you're escaping from that Liridium cave and you're teleporting where you think is going to be the Sleeveless Way compound, but the teleport starts to go a little unstable. So what would be MJ's like couple of thoughts right there?
Glad first she's glad that they're, she's thinking they're going to get out of there safely, and then she she's probably wondering if they're going to die.
Okay.
Because the teleport's going wrong.
Okay, perfect. In that case, I have an idea for that. So we'll do MJ next. This teleport is unstable. You definitely know that something's wrong. You're not sure what, and then you're just swallowed up by this black void for what feels like a few seconds. And then when you open your eyes again, the sun is just like shining directly in your eyes. It's super bright as you're laying on your back on what feels like a dusty, rocky surface, and the sun is directly overhead. And as you, I would presume, sit up to look around, you notice just tombstones all around you. What do you do?
Look around and like poke at a tombstone to see if my hand goes through it. I don't think it will.
No, everything's solid. Everything seems real. Like you can check your yourself. You seem like you're fine. No visible injuries. You still have a pulse. You're pretty sure you're not dead.
Okay, and I still have my things that I had?
Yeah, everything that you had before,
Okay.
you still have with you. You're just in the middle of a cemetery.
Is anyone else around?
You don't see anybody immediately around you. If you want to take a second to, do a good thorough glance around, you can roll sight and see if you see anything else. Nice. So as you look around, getting more of a sense of your surroundings, getting your bearings. You do see somebody off in the distance who appears to be digging a hole in the ground. And you can't make out a whole lot of details about this person, but they seem very, very skinny and tall, so like they're just very lanky kind of build. And they seem to have a top hat on. And if you squint, you can just make out, you think they might be wearing suspenders. And behind them is the outline of what looks like a church. Zoom is kind of freezing up a little bit, so I'm not sure if I'm
Hey,
catching what you're
that's not
saying.
for me, is it?
I couldn't quite make that out. It was a little robot-y.
She said, "Hey, that's not for me, is it?"
Oh, okay. So the man looks a little startled. He drops the shovel, and he looks around, sort of puts his hand up to his eyebrows, like
Oh,
to
is this okay?
shield his eyes from the sun. He finally sees you and goes, "Oh, no.
It's
I didn't see you there. What are you doing out here in the middle of the cemetery?"
I'm not sure. I don't. Are there many ghosts around here?
Oh, well, I mean, lots of people seem to think there are. We do ghost tours every so often. The real ones don't come out during the day, though.
Well, where are we? I just not sure how I got here.
Oh, this is the Haventown Cemetery. You're must have been a wild night if you woke up in here. But we're just outside of town. There's the Blue Lemonade shop is right across the street. I imagine you're probably thirsty.
I'm really thirsty. We were at a knitting circle and I just ended up here.
I always forget that MJ has the like I can't remember the name of it now, but it has to lie about everything. Compulsive liar. That's amazing. A knitting circle. He sort of chuckles and gives you a quizzical look, like, must be one hell of a knitting circle. Yeah. I'll come on through. I'll the gate's locked, so I'll let you through the church so you can get onto the main street.
Thank you. Aren't you gonna? Don't you have to dig your grave?
Oh, it's
Not your grave. I hope not.
he sort of chuckles. I hope not too. No, this is for insert name here. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Like, this is for so and so, and well, they ain't going anyplace, so I can take a break and let you through the church.
I sure hope they're not going anyplace.
And as you get closer, as someone in chat was wondering, he does in fact have a toothpick in his mouth. But yeah, he opens the back door to the church, and it's you're pretty standard old U.S. style church. The construction is not well, it's good quality, but it's obviously been here a really long time. So like there's cracks between like the window and the frame structure, and you know, the floors are obviously very well worn and all that. But you can see the front door from the back door, and he just sort of motions you through and says, "The front door is unlocked. You can, I'll let you see yourself out. I hope you and the rest of your knitting circle are okay, and you have a good rest of your day."
Oh, I hope so too. Thank you for having me out of your cemetery. And yeah,
He just
and I'll
nods
just
and
walk away.
okay. Oh, I think he dropped again. Should be right back.
Well, that's one way to walk away.
Walks away so well that it just ends the Zoom call. Hey, I think we got you back. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, Yes, the Comcast must hate me tonight.
I was gonna say Comcast, say no more. Been there.
The last thing I heard when I was leaving.
Okay. So yeah, he just lets you see yourself out, and he just tips the brim of his top hat at you, and then he goes back out to start digging the grave again.
Okay. Is the lemonade shop right there? Like he said?
It is. It's right across the street, and you can see the town where you all first started is off in the distance, a little ways down the road.
Okay. Is anybody like by the shop? Is it closed?
The shop is closed. Which you probably remember that Lula May herself did close the shop before you left. But I imagine you might have seen like where she keeps a spare key or something like that. You could probably easily get inside if you wanted to.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
And like I don't know why I think she's going to be in there, but like call out for her.
yeah, you're able to find the spare key in the secret hiding spot, and let yourself in, and yeah, it's empty. There's nobody in there.
Okay.
Now, question for Icy Historian: does Lula May have another vehicle at the shop?
Oh man, we never established this, but I imagine that there would be some sort of like obnoxious promotional vehicle that is much more for like, but it's like not like practical. You know what I mean? Like a like.
Yeah. It's
like as you drive this like stupid thing, there's like a Lula May thing that like moves back and forth with like dancing lemonades or something, like something ridiculous, like 1 1/2 people.
so it's like the equivalent of like the Oscar Mayer hot dog truck.
Yeah, but like a little bit less classy, right? Like a
Less
little
classy.
bit. It's like if the Oscar Mayer mobile right is Las Vegas, this is like
Andover?
like no, not even Reno. It sort of is like one of those
Atlantic City.
Yeah, but like Atlantic City now.
So as bad as
and like,
Oh god.
I mean, she's got a lot of foundation on, but like she's been dead 2 weeks and forgot to lie down.
Oh my god.
So
so
she belongs in the
NJ,
cemetery.
you do find that vehicle is there. You could drive it. You do have transportation and a loose interpretation of the word.
Okay, first, Icy Historian. And stop.
Yes. What? I didn't hear.
Okay.
What you said.
I'm going to take some lemonade with me.
Oh yeah.
I said, do you have lemonade in stock at your shop?
Oh yeah, she's got like piles of it. It's bottles.
Okay, well, she's going to... Okay. Well, I'm going to grab some bottles and drink one and grab some and load them into the car, into the vehicle,
All right.
and try to drive it away. Of course, she doesn't want Little May to get robbed.
Perfect. Yeah, you're able to drive it. It runs just fine. It does play like the Lula May lemonade jingle. I imagine it's probably sort of hardwired into the truck, so if it's moving or on, the jingle's playing.
Yeah, we didn't want to go so far as to invest in the button option.
Yeah.
No, we're on a budget, yeah.
But yeah,
Okay, that's going to be a little bit startling. So the driving is going to be kind of worse than normal. It's going to like stop and start, like all the time that she's driving.
Okay. I love that. And you actually will know like where you're going to. Like you, I won't even make you roll for it. It was a pretty straight shot to get over to the compound, so you know how to get there. And I think that's a good pausing point for MJ as well. Which one of you do I want to do next? Because both of yours are going to be a bit involved. All right, we'll do Michael first. So Amanda, same deal happens. You're trying to teleport to the compound. Wesley's pretty sure with channeling the dark iridium, you're able to or that he'll be able to get you there. But at the last second, you can definitely tell something is unstable and wrong, and you're sort of swallowed up into this dark void. When you come to, it feels kind of cold, a little bit damp, and as you start to crack your eyes open, you can see a full moon up in the sky.
Okay, and as it's just kind of like, and the transition, I imagine, it's a couple of seconds before there is that transition, where it's just very empty. Amanda is very feeling alone, probably. Small little voice in the back of their head going, "Now your environment matches you." And Amanda just responding, No, I'm not. And the voice responding back, "Oh, yes, you are." Yeah, probably that. Before the eyes open up to see kind of the brightness of the moon.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, you see the moon, and as you glance around, you notice a sign, almost like a billboard, but it's old and rusted. Give me a sight roll to see if you can make out what it says in the darkness.
And just for your information, this is a low, which I do not have very much in sight.
Okay.
Wow. 25.
Hey! 25, nice. Yeah, you're able to read it just fine. A cloud moves out of the way and there's a little bit more moonlight that hits the sign. You're able to read, "Caution, no entry, minefield." And as you look around, you can see you're in the middle of it, and you might recall that as you were flying on the way to the
No, I
Diredog
didn't roll
area,
well enough. This is my very first time I've rolled well on a sight roll, so.
I think you still, maybe you didn't see her.
Nope.
I can't remember. I thought you
I
rolled
didn't.
well enough.
This is my first time I've ever rolled more than a 10 on sight.
Okay. Then you might not remember some of the details, but you do recall that there was a minefield on the way, and you do recall seeing somebody standing in the middle of it on the way over here, but you don't know who it was.
Well, there's a dire dogs on the left and minefield to the right. Here I'm stuck in the middle. Hmm. Well, I can either try to do the stupid thing or. Hmm. And I feel like that might. Oh, wait, boss isn't back yet. Then the stupid thing that she's most likely going to do is pull out a couple of those rocks and just kind of like have like about 4 or 5 so that she can just chunk them out and they'll be spread out. So kind of like one would might go 5 feet, the other 10, 15, 20 so far. Just as the rocks would probably hit the ground in front of her.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, and these are the lyridium, the dark lyridium
Yeah, the smoky
pieces that you
quartz.
Okay. Yep.
I got tons of them. Let's find out.
Yeah. So you check them out there. You said 5 of them, roughly.
Yeah, but they're kind of like in between, so that way they all have like a 5 feet distance between them. So if at most one could go 20 feet, then there's one every 5 feet. If they can go 100 feet, then it's like each one's divided by 5.
Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, in an area in front of you, there's explosions as these hit and trip mines, and then there's subsequent explosions, which are twice as large. There is definitely a concussive wave that comes towards you. So roll nimbleness to see if you can.
Get the shields up in time.
Yeah, or just not get tossed back.
Okay, did it go through? Okay, there we go.
21. So this concussive blast hits you, and but you are able to get your shield up, and it's sort of like what you see in those like action anime where the protagonist gets kicked back and their feet are firmly planted on the ground, but it's pushing them back, and there's this line in the dirt, and you finally come to a stop. And as you look behind you, you can see about an inch away from your heel is another mine, which you narrowly missed being pushed onto. But these explosions all happen. It's very loud. It's very bright in the middle of the night. Very big. And after all that goes off, you can see somebody, like from a dead laying on their back, sit straight up off in the distance and look at you and say, "What are you doing blowing up all my boom plants?"
I didn't know! I'm sorry! Let me get closer to you! And starts walking the area that she had already blown up, so she can safely get closer without actually setting one off with Amanda being on top of them.
Okay. Roll sight to make sure that you don't hit any mines that might still be there.
No, literally it is going only as far as like the rocks kind of like want where she saw the explosions, but still.
Okay, so you're like hopping from crater to crater, basically.
Yeah, but
okay, I
still
gotcha.
gave you the sight roll.
Sure. So 18, yeah, that's fine. You're able to get to the furthest explosion, and you can see this person. It's still dark, so it's hard to make out who it is. But you see her just casually sort of playing, kind of like a kid would play hopscotch, just bouncing and hopping around from spot to spot, clearly knowing where every mine is. And Amanda has seen Maggie before, right?
No.
Okay. Then you wouldn't recognize her, but
only known tales of. Drowsing Maggie, only knowing of them being like a large disappointment that they were one of the few that actually looked into what the cave they were protecting and learned whatever it was from that, and was removed from the order because of that. So they have a lot of knowledge and skills that Amanda probably would never have learned on their own, that the person that smells of sunflower seeds probably took and killed everyone of the order for.
Okay. Then yeah, she approaches and looks you up and down and kind of just goes, "Oh, you're one of those. Why are you in the middle of my boom plant patch?"
There was a surprise. Apparently I was the surprise because I did not know that I was going to be here.
Well, that makes two of us. I didn't know you were going to be here either.
I know, that's what makes it surprise. Neither of us knew.
Okay. Perhaps I should rephrase this question a different way. How are you in the middle of my boom plant patch?
I was transported here via smoky quartz magic. I am unsure if it was good or not, but I feel like it's a good warning for me to never actually use magic with one of these rocks, and pulls out one of the smoky quartz.
She takes it from you, like snatches it out of your hand, looks at it real close. Just going to grab something off my desk to use as a prop here. Looks at it real close, sniffs it. Her eyes get kind of wide, and she pops the thing in her mouth and starts just like sucking on it like a jawbreaker. Does Amanda say or do anything at that, or are you still just watching?
That's not a good idea. That's...
She just sort of
Okay.
stretches you and waves her hand. She sucks out for a little while and then spits it out into her hand. Goes, "This is terrible candy."
It's not candy.
Gives me a lot of energy, though. Tell you what. You give me a few more of those, and I will help you get out of this minefield.
But what if I don't want to get out of this minefield?
Well, then I suppose I could just, instead of watching you set off all my boom plants, I can just throw you on one of them, and then that takes care of my problem.
But what if in the same time I bounce onto another one, and then they're all gone?
She just looks at you in deadpan. She goes, "That's a risk I'm willing to take."
Dang, I'm not willing to make that risk. Okay, well played.
So do we have a deal?
Sure. And just kind of like, almost like a little wave of their hand, has kind of like a couple more just out.
Okay. She snatches like all of them out of your hand as quickly as she can.
I imagine it's done like so quickly, like they were in Amanda's hand for a second and then they just disappeared and like Amanda was going.
Oh yeah, it's like lightning fast speed. Just snatch them all out of your hand, and straight up just chipmunk stuffs them all into her mouth. Like her cheeks are just like super huge because she's got all of these rocks in her mouth. And then she just sort of goes tingly, and then she gets down into like this deep fighting stance with one palm pulled all the way back behind her head, and then just slaps you in the sternum with that hand, and you go flying all the way to the edge of the minefield, where you land surprisingly not that hard. Like, it doesn't actually hurt. Probably still feel a little sore from getting hit in the sternum, but you can tell that what she did was done in such a way that it didn't actually harm you. like you would expect. And she calls out and says, "Thanks for the terrible rock candy. My name's Maggie. Come see me again sometime. But call first."
Can I? Are you sure I can't like come into your house for like some food or something instead? Because I'd really rather like to do that before I wander into the darkness with most likely my death.
She just starts cackling and like slapping her thigh in laughter. And she's like, "House." Oh, these kids these days are hilarious. Bye now. She goes back to her spot and lays back down.
I have more, but I feel like that's a good place to go back to Boss to do their scene.
Yeah, that sounds good. Oh, lost Nikki again. Yeah. All right. All right. So, Alex, you're gonna temporarily be in MJ's window for a minute here.
I'm suddenly cool.
So Al, I know you had managed to steal some of those rocks, which not exactly stealing, I guess, because they're everywhere and everybody's taking them.
I've been like keeping track. I've got like 30 rocks in my pockets.
Nice. So yeah, you got a bunch of those. I imagine you're still holding on to that dark Liridium torch.
Oh yeah. It's mine now.
Perfect. And you're getting ready to teleport out. You can tell it's getting unstable. And then you mentioned that your last thoughts
is how the fuck am I going to explain this to my sister?
Yeah. Now remind me, Allison's sister. You said. Is
Allison's sister is alive and well. Allison's encountered her multiple times. Allison cannot remember her and does not recognize her.
Hair on my nose. Okay. And does her sister recognize her?
Her sister recognizes her. Her sister fixes her up every time Allison comes around. Is just like this nice mechanic that Allison knows that for some reason takes pity on her.
Okay. Then yeah.
Like glue an arm back in place if she needs it.
As you, I guess, in this case, close your metaphorical eyes and reopen them after being in the black void, you're suddenly sitting at a dinner table with this person and her family seated around the table.
Got a husband and twin kids.
Awesome. So yeah, all of them are sitting at the table, and you are in like the one spare chair. You just show up there. The kids are screaming. The husband's running to grab a gun, and your sister's just sort of staring there at you with wide eyes and an open, like, jaw dropped, open mouth, surprise.
Hey, cult guy, we're in the wrong place. Allison's waiting desperately, hoping somebody else is going to reply to her.
There's no reply, just children screaming and hiding under the table.
Right. I'm not supposed to be here right now. She like awkwardly just stands the fuck up and walks out.
As you go to stand up after saying, "I'm not supposed to be here right now," you do hear a familiar sound of like a shotgun being, cocked. And the husband's like, "You're really not."
Yeah.
Your sister puts up a hand and says, "No, it's okay." Al, why are you here?
Good question. I don't know. We're supposed to be going back to where they make the canned meat.
do you work at the cannery now?
No, still trying to find my sister. Got a new vault hunting group that they're competent-ish. Okay, some of them are competent. The cult people are kind of competent. And then there's like one person who's got her head on together who sells lemonade. It's really, it's weird, it's complicated, and I
It's a
should probably
surprisingly-
find them because last time they went missing on me, they got themselves into so much shit.
Surprisingly accurate description of the party. Okay, so in the past, with your backstory, how has Al's sister responded with when Al's like, I'm trying to find my sister?
She kind of stopped. She kind of gave up on trying to convince Al that she was her sister when Al reacted very badly to that, and kind of treats it a bit like how you treat somebody with Alzheimer's. You go
Okay.
with what they're doing, as long as what they're doing seems to be helping them.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, does the sister have a name, by the way?
Yes, Elizabeth or Liz.
Elizabeth.
Her
okay.
shop's
Liz, I
name
like
should
that.
be called Tin Lizzie's
I love that.
because they're Allison Tin and Elizabeth Tin.
That's perfect. So yeah, Liz just sort of gives an sort of awkward smile back at her husband, who puts the shotgun away. Seems to recognize what's going on, and just visibly stands down. Like his body language changes, where he's no longer getting ready to shoot you. The kids poke their heads up from under the table. And seem to be satisfied that there's no immediate danger, but they're still a little upset. And Liz just looks at you and says, "Well, are you happy doing all of that?"
I mean, it's something to do. It's
Okay.
better than trying to do this shit on my own.
Well, I'm glad you have people to look out for you then.
As I feel
I'm-
bad for MJ. She's got like nobody to look out for her and stuff.
Well, you should definitely take care of that person then.
Hey, right,
I'm
you're an
still-
engineer, right?
I am.
Great. She pulls out one of the rocks. This makes energy. Fuck is it?
She grabs it from your hand and kind of looks at it. Just like, I've never really seen something like this before. I could take it to the lab and run some tests on it.
Great. I'll next time I come around here, I'll ask what's up with that. But here, she gives like 5 of them. Don't lick them.
It just gives you like this concerning look of like, the fact that you would tell me specifically not to lick them concerns me. That's the look she has on her face.
Well, we fed
Um,
it to a Ted and he exploded.
Ted, right. Okay.
You know,
I
the
will-
the weird guys with no sleeves.
Oh, those.
Yeah.
Maybe don't feed random rocks that you don't know what they are to people.
To be fair, it wasn't my idea.
Okay, good. Well, I won't lick it, and I will try to figure out what they are. And then I'll let you know what I find. Do you need help finding your group? Your friends?
Yeah. So, do you know where like the nearest Church of the Sleepless Way is?
Oh, it's a few miles outside of town. Yeah, you head west and then go north. Once you get to a fork in the road, and that should take you in the general direction. I'm told
Alright.
the Teds will find you at that point.
I got what
Especially
I
if
need to deal with Teds.
especially if you're wearing sleeves. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll try to figure out what this is. Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah, I really hope this doesn't happen again because that was weird.
Yeah, if you think it might, maybe, maybe call first.
I will call and let you know the next time I'm trapped in a cave and being teleported out by magic.
Thanks, I really appreciate that. And she just sort of puts a hand on your arm and goes, "You know, you're always family to us."
Okay. Sure thing there. Right, what was your name again?
It's Liz.
My sister's name is Liz. Must be a popular name around here.
And she sort of just gives you a sad smile and says, "Yeah, it must be."
Alright, I'm gonna take off. Don't let your kids lick those either. Seriously, exploding bodies, not fun. Not good.
I got it. I'll be careful. Okay. Well, if you need help finding your friends, if you need like a ride somewhere or something, just let us know.
I got feet.
Okay. Just try to be careful.
With that, Allison is on the road, smoking a cigarette as she walks towards the nearest Sleepless Way compound.
And inside the house, the kids are looking at Liz and going, "Mommy, who was that?" And Liz gets a sad look on her face, and that's where we'll take a break. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. Go stretch your legs, grab a snack, grab some liquid of some kind, water, and yeah, we'll come back and we'll find out what happens with Lula May's weird Danco meeting. What happens with Amanda right after getting thrown clear of the minefield. We'll find out if Al meets up with anybody, and we'll see how MJ's lemonade stand truck ride goes. So we'll be right back. Hey, we're back, everybody. Very sad story with Al and her sister. So we're gonna hop back over to Lula May with Timothy in the Jeep. You pulled into this sort of bunker in this hill, and it's all fancy on the inside. It's like paved and all that. And what in the world are y'all doing? I'm thinking about like the next
whispering
like,
encouragements to blow him up.
It's too early.
I see. Yeah, just look over at the video call and like there's Alex and Michael both like yelling at the camera. Like, what is going on? That was funny. Sorry. So yeah, it's very nice. It's fancy. It's paved. This tunnel's well lit, and then it gets like this little small parking lot area. And there's some concrete stairs that go up about 4 or 5 steps. And then what appears to be a conference room beyond those steps and a door frame. So Tim parks the Jeep and looks over at you and says, "All right, well, I guess I'll be on my way. I gotta get into this meeting and show them those numbers."
So Lula May is gonna lean over and she's got her daddy's flask and she's gonna pour just a little bit of the mixture into his lemonade. And she's gonna be like, "Look, Tim, you've got this. I've known you a long time." And she's gonna put her hand on his cheek, like really like supportive wife. She's gonna like straighten his tie and like with his collar and be like, "You got this. So I'll be here in the Jeep. I'll get it all turned around for you, all fancy like. So we'll be on our way out of here, and you and I will go get some dinner and catch up. Now remember, you don't take a sip of that until right before they expect you to start talking. Get yourself some manly liquid courage."
Roll charm.
I'm gonna roll again.
Oh, that's a tip. Yeah, definitely use your
25. Ah,
nice.
the one time in my life I remember I have that asset. I've had it
There we
since
go.
day one, and I started using it today.
There we go. Oh, you got a nat 1. Yeah, it wasn't. The rolls weren't updating on the overlays. It was like
It was a bad time in my life. So.
yeah, nat 1's bad. That's awesome though. 25. He absolutely believes it. And sort of just gives you like a little hand squeeze, like that stage when you're first dating somebody and you're not sure if it's like, is it okay to kiss at this point or not?
Nope.
That sort of, it's like that awkward stage. That's sort of the look he gives you as he just like gives you a hand squeeze after a few seconds, and then
And yeah, Lula May sort of is like, "Look," and as he gets out, she's gonna climb into the driver's seat. She's like, "I'm just gonna get the car turned around, so you will be ready to just get on out of here, and we'll go, do some catching up." And she doesn't Lula May is a classy woman. Like, she's not vulgar, but she definitely is like dropping subtle hints with body language that she does not intend this to be purely a business meeting.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you. I follow. Okay. Grabs his briefcase. He grabs the travel mug. And heads into the meeting. Let me find out what happens in there. As I assume you just take off in the Jeep.
Lulu, yeah, literally the second he can't see, she drives up in the beach, Jeep pushes the button, and I imagine, just I mean, she's trying not even to slow down. Bye.
Okay.
Deuces.
I've rolled a 26 on physical fortitude. I'm going to add a d6 into that.
Nice.
Which will make that a 30.
So instead of exploding, does he get explosive diarrhea?
Oh, don't jump the dynamite here. So I'm gonna describe what happens. So yeah, he gets out of line of sight. Goes into that meeting, and you start driving away. And as you do, glance in the rearview mirror, and you can see just this fireball chasing you down this tunnel. As the sound of the explosion catches up with you, it's this loud boom, and the tunnel shaking, and you can feel like the steering wheel doing the vibration as you're driving on this shaky road. You get to the entrance, and as luck would have it, you remember what button it is. You press the button, it opens up, and the fireball catches up with you right as you're leaving the tunnel. So it does that really cool action movie. You know, you see the flames come out, and then the vehicle shoot out right after.
Yeah.
And as far as you know, everything blew up. And you have this nice fancy Jeep.
Yes, Lula May does not believe for 1 second that this is the end of Danco, but it got her a Jeep and she got out of here. So she is going to go, and then she is going to pull over behind like a rock outcropping, and she's gonna look under in the center console to see if there's any sort of like tracker in the car.
Let's do a mechanical engineering check.
Love that is what you said. It's a 24.
24? Yeah. You look at all the electrical stuff, so probably like the center console, like underneath the steering wheel, where all the wires and stuff are. And yeah, you do find like a standard manufacturer model GPS tracker. It's like one of those things that they put in vehicles that are designated for like fleet purchases.
Yeah. She's gonna lean in. She's not sure if it's transmitting sound, and she's gonna say in her like sexiest voice, "See you later, Tim Racket," and she's gonna throw it and speed off in the direction of the Church of the Sleeveless Way.
Awesome. That is very badass, and I'm sure we'll have no negative consequences later.
Listen, he wants it. He wants the Lula, no matter what. Tim Racket is a man who has never known a maladaptive behavior that he did not persist in. I mean, y'all, he is just, if he were a single-celled organism, all right, he would have purposefully crawled his way out of the water and dried in the sun, all right? If Tim Racket were in the primordial ooze, we would still be little Eugleninas wandering around, trying not to get like struck by lightning.
That was an incredible description. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think with that, I'll say that you're driving around, probably trying to figure out where in the world you are. It's gotten darker. And you notice that it takes you a minute, like you have to like turn the stereo down or roll your window up to get rid of the wind noise because you think you hear something for just a second, but you're not quite sure. As you're listening harder and harder, it starts to get a little bit louder, and you could swear you're either going crazy or you hear the Lula May lemonade jingle coming from somewhere up ahead.
Oh, Lula May is going to go in the direction of the sound
Okay.
because she knows that there's only one vehicle in the world that would make that sound.
Yeah, and you come to a fork in the road, and you're pretty sure the sound is coming from your left. So you can turn left at the fork, or you can keep going straight. Sounds like you want to go towards the sound.
Does it seem like the sound is coming toward the fork or going away from it?
Going away from it.
Okay, so she is going to go toward the sound, trying to like catch up to it, because she knows that the Jeep can go probably a lot faster than that vehicle can.
Okay. You take the left-hand road at the turn, and after driving down that for a little bit, that jingle gets louder and louder, and you find that this little turnoff turns into the main road, and everything starts to look more familiar, and you realize you're on the way towards the Sleeveless Way compound. And that's when you see your truck, your lemonade truck, kind of doing a little bit of a start and stop, almost looking like somebody's trying to learn how to drive stick shift for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As it's just going down this road. And MJ, you can see a Jeep rapidly closing the distance behind you. That's covered in, Danco logos and things like that.
Okay, she's just gonna stop.
Lula May is gonna pull up alongside, and as soon as she sees that it's MJ, she's gonna look up and be like, "Thank you, Mark." Sleeps? I don't know which one. I don't know who I'm supposed to be talking to right now, but thank you for whatever you did. MJ, girl, what are you doing in that classless hunk of junk? You get right in here. Come on, I think I may have just blown up a Danco compound.
I was driving along. Oh, I was selling lemonade. Where should I park?
Oh, girl, we're gonna torch that thing. You just get on out, pull it out. Oh, sweetheart, I won that off of a traveling zester salesman in a poker game because he did not understand boundaries when it came to physical affection. And unfortunately, girl, I just had to teach him the only kind of lesson he was able to learn, poor thing. Someday, with proper medical technology, I think he may walk again. And she's gonna open the door for MJ and be like, "Come on, girl, come on." She's gonna get out and start loading any of the lemonade into the Jeep. Just loading it into the, not even questioning the fact that MJ had just walked off with all this lemonade and clearly was never going to sell it to anyone. He's just like, yeah, of course you went in and got lemonade. Like, duh, what do you think this is? So she's just loading in. She's like, it's going to be fine. We're going to do this. It's going to be great.
Okay.
Okay, MJ will just make sure she grabs at least one bottle of drinking and go along.
Oh, girl, you can have as much as you want. We're going to bring it back. You think I'm going to waste the good stuff on the Teds? Oh, no. I got a couple bottles of my daddy's moonshine that I snuck away. You and I, we'll do this evening right. I'm sorry. It's girls' night tonight. And she's going to just, keep, loading this stuff in. And she's going to look at the Lula May Lemonade Lady vehicle. And, she's going to take out her lipstick and a Lula May's lemonade like flyer that they have, and she's gonna write a note on the thing. It's gonna say, "Come and get me, Racket," and she's gonna stick it right in the vehicle, and turn some like janky dial that like leaves the sound playing, no matter even if the vehicle's not moving. And she's gonna be like, "Come on in, girl. We got to get ourselves out of here."
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting in there pretty quick because I don't want to hear that music.
Yeah.
It's fair. Okay. As you
Covering
both
my
hop
ear.
in the Jeep, you both get in the Jeep. You got it loaded up with all the stuff, and as you start to drive away, you notice, that it's certainly gotten darker, kind of quick, and there's a full moon up in the sky, and then you just see off in the distance these like mini mushroom clouds. This loud boom of explosions that happen off towards where that minefield was that you passed on the way to go check out the Dire Dog Den.
Do you know where the rest of the party is?
Lula May is gonna like not look at MJ, but look at the mushroom clouds, and she's gonna go, "Now, MJ, my claims of clairvoyance are greatly exaggerated, but if I were a gambling girl, which I am, it very, very much so, it's actually sometimes been quite a problem for me, if I'm being honest. I would say that would certainly be an indication as to the location of one, if not more, of our compatriots."
That's totally fair.
Now, the question before us, darling, is, do we continue on our current path and get back to the compound and find a couple of Teds to rustle up some grub and drink ourselves into a most unbecoming stupor? Or do we go figure out what Amanda has found her way to blowing up?
What if we get a TED to check on that possible dangerous explosion?
I know an awful lot about some of them Teds, MJ, and I do think that
MJ is management material. She's already outsourced.
I do think that there are some of them that certainly are a bit more expendable than the others. And she is going to leave at where sort of like, I imagine the road is going this way, and then there's like the minefield like off to this side. So where is like the logical spot? If Amanda comes back to the road, she's gonna leave a bottle of lemonade for her to pick up on her way back to the church. And I don't know, like she takes like a little like Lula May like light up something and like sticks it on the bottle so that Amanda will be able to see it, and then she gets back in the Jeep and drives back toward the compound and is like, "You know something? She is not what I would call perhaps always the most, she takes a real circuitous route from point A to B. Like she gets through all the letters of several different alphabets. Sometimes it's really actually quite impressive, but she's a resourceful girl. She's got to learn her way in this world, and mama needs a beverage." Yes, I do. It's Lula May's turn now. All right, girl, we're going. And she's going to drive with MJ.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, you do that. Hopping over to Al, as you've been walking down the road.
Just chain smoking cigarettes, by the way.
Of course. It's gotten dark. And as you walk down the road, off in the distance ahead of you, you hear the Lula May Lemonade jingle. Like it's playing on a cheap loudspeaker.
What the fuck?
Do you keep walking down the road?
She
Okay.
literally stops and goes, "What the fuck?" So she goes to go see what's up.
When you ask the question to the void of the evening, there's a dire dog across the road from you that just looks at you and tilts its head and then runs off.
Wait, no, I want to adopt you.
After searching
Allison
for
is
the
now
dire,
chasing after the dire dog.
let's say after you chase around for the dire dog for a bit, eventually you'll discover that it's nowhere to be found.
Damn it, I just want to show you affection.
Let me love you.
And if you keep going down the road, you'll eventually come across the Lula May Lemonade truck that's blaring this music.
Okay,
And,
first things up, Allison's gonna reach in there, grab the wires for the for the speakerphone, and rip them out.
all right, before you do that, there's more. So there's also a note in there that just says, what was it? Come and get me, Tim Rackett, or something like that.
It's clearly like super sarcastic. She's written it in her lipstick, and it just says, "Come and get me, Racket." And
this is stupid. She crumples it up and shoves it in her pocket. Yeah, this is stupid.
The back of the truck is open, and inside is that dire dog that you were chasing for, and it's got its head like stuck in a bag of sugar. It's a small one.
Allison sees
It's
if
small.
there's something she could possibly use to like slip around as a leash.
Yeah, actually, as you yank the wiring out of the jingle thing, it could kind of work as a leash.
Great. I'm grabbing another one of the things of sugar, putting that into a pocket. Gently, carefully slip the leash on over around the dire dog's neck and shoulders.
Okay. Yeah, it seems content to stay at the back of the truck with the leash.
Great. I'm gonna just take that bag of sugar and squeeze it a little bit more over its head so it's kind of stuck over its head like a muzzle.
It tilts its head at you quizzically, but just sits there.
Great.
With the tail
And
wagging back and forth.
I shake the other full bag of sugar while gently pulling it with the leash. I got the sugar.
Are you trying to like lead it out of the truck?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it sort of awkwardly follows you, doing the thing where it's like you're shaking its head left and right, trying to get the sugar bag off of its face.
Well, it realizes there's like that's shaking the sugar loose, and then it stops and it like licks sugar.
Yeah, probably.
All right, that's how she continues on towards the compound. Every once in a while, like having to put a bit of sugar to like get it to follow her, and like holding out her hand with the sugar on the fingers, sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, it seems perfectly happy to follow you around.
I got my fucking dog.
Fantastic.
Look on Jennifer's face right now. Oh, Lula May's gonna be so pissed.
May will be fine.
Eventually, you come across Amanda. So, Amanda, I presume once you've been tossed over the minefield that you head back towards the road and find the
No.
Of course not. Where does Amanda go?
The thing is like right after kind of like where it landed, has kind of a little bit of a flashback where Amanda is seen like being dragged, much like what had occurred with the dire dogs in the last episode and failing. This time in the flashback, Amanda is being dragged along by a bull, just down a random street, trying to just jump around and avoid getting hit on multiple things. And as it's running down the street, there is this being that's very shadowy, nondescript, with a giant umbrella that has a sunflower design to it, and almost like a pistol handle at the bottom of it that just twirls out of the way for grabbing the actual bull and tossing it to the ground along with Amanda. And the shadowy creature just speaks to Amanda, going, "You are a bigger disappointment than drowsy Maggie with double the destruction Melback." And Amanda respond, "No, I'm not. I'm gonna be a star." And the shadowy creature responds, "An unlucky creature like you, who would never would be a Melback. Probably why you were abandoned here, or with the Order. You'll never be a star." Just kind of like that echoing. Before kind of like just unable to make the connection between that memory that's fluttering back in her head and that maybe that might be connected to this Maggie. Go, Since Amanda got a 10 on her gut feeling, isn't able to make the connection and thinks, you know what? I should probably go and talk to that Maggie person and figure out how the heck they were able to do that. So they would be trying to go along the minefield exactly where like they jumped out of the way of where they exploded and all that, trying to follow exactly what Maggie did to get across the minefield. Would you like nimbleness or anything else kind of roll?
Raven, you're muted.
Oh, oops, you're right. Thank you. So you'll have to figure this out on your own, because the part that you got thrown over, Maggie did not cross, so you don't know where she stepped or anything like that. You're welcome to roll sight to try to navigate a literal minefield in the middle of the night, if you would like.
I think there's going to be another, and we've seen this done before, of throwing just those smoky quartz out there and then going along where after the explosion. But since aware of this, puts the shield up first.
Okay. Let's just make a nimbleness roll. We'll call it that. Aggie's going to be pissed.
Again, like not making the connection yet, so thinking, oh, this might be a good idea to go and find them. 23?
Yeah, you set off a couple more mines. There's followed by the other explosions from the crystals themselves. You hear Maggie off in the distance yelling at you, and it doesn't sound like the "oh, those darn kids." It sounds like "I'm literally going to murder you if you don't leave," kind of yelling at you.
And Amanda is going towards that.
As your GM and your friend, I just have to ask you one question. It's a very serious question. Are you sure?
I'm sorry. Like, there's just okay. Logic Park. It's just like it's more of the joy here. Just like this seems so good. This seems so tantalizing. Because this feels like this is gonna cause some consequences that might be very interesting to find out.
Quite possibly the rolling a new character type of consequences. Just as a heads up. if you're sure, we can go forward with it.
I again, like, I know you say that, but again, like, this is all a result of failing the gut feeling on this being a thing, not making this connection, and we rolled a 10 at total. So this is kind of like them just going with it. So this is why, like I said before the break, I needed to make the roll.
Okay. Sorry, I was just looking at Zoom chat at the. I missed the Mobile being possessed idea. Love that. And everybody going take the warning. Okay. If you're going to proceed further, that's going to be another sight roll to not step on a mine. We'll start with that.
Well, she's like going where, kind of like the things that got exploded.
Oh yeah, that's going to make it a little bit easier, but there's still unexploded parts that you're going to have to cross.
Okay.
Maggie launched you pretty far to get out of the minefield. You were literally in the middle of it.
Okay. Do I need to spend a D6?
You got a 16?
Yeah.
Is that right? I would, if I were you.
Okay. Okay. That's an 18 total?
18. So, that's not high enough. You needed at least a 20. Would you like to go towards where you teleported in from the explosion, or away from the minefield with the explosion? Either way, you're going to be in an explosion.
I would think logically go to where they were teleported, because again, they were thought, hey, this was such a cool, they did a cool trick. I want to learn how to do that. How the heck did Maggie able to do that?
Okay. Let me roll for damage, because basically what happens is you get most of the way there because of the explosions that you set off yourself. But there's still a patch that you have to cross that's not exploded. You don't see all the mines, and so you end up stepping on one.
And I have healed because of the transport, right?
I think you mentioned healing right before you teleported.
Okay, just wanted to make sure to see where I was before you rolled the dice.
Yep. Okay. I need a calculator. Things you never want to hear your GM say.
Oh, I know, but this right here is what's making this so much fun for me right here. This is making me so happy. Like, don't get why, but this is giving me loads of serotonin right now.
Okay, so that's 23 damage as you step on a landmine and it launches you back to where you teleported in.
Okay. I'm still standing.
Amazing. That was 6d6, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you land where you teleported in, a little crispy, probably in a lot of pain. You look up to see a very angry, murderous-looking Maggie stomping towards you. What would you like to do?
As kind of like she's coughing, is probably hitting herself to kind of like try to heal herself. So I'm guessing that would be a magical engineering roll.
Yes. You're not technically in combat yet, so you can just roll magic engineering and take the healing.
Okay. And so that would be
a stamina point or anything.
So how many would that be? Because I think it's at 35 it goes. It's a D12, I believe.
don't remember off the top of my head. That's something that's very easy to look up, though.
I think it's
So
D8 or D12.
So a 15 is a D4, a 20 is a D6, 25 is D8, 30 is D10, so 35 would be a D12.
Okay, so I got 11 back health.
Nice.
Okay, so the first thing, kind of like she says after kind of like seeing like the life magic going in, is like, well, you kind of did some cool moves, and I really would like to know how you did them, so that I could probably do that. Do you mind teaching me?
I told you to stop blowing up my boom plants and to come back later. And she sees that you've healed up a little bit and goes, oh, good, you have life magic. You healed some. Good, now I don't feel bad about doing this. And she just straight up, like, punches you across the field, not trying to take care to make sure you don't get hurt this time.
Okay.
Would you like to try to defend against this?
Sure. I'm gonna do a block.
Okay.
Does that give me a +5?
It does not. This is a melee attack. She's just
Okay,
straight up
good.
punching you.
Okay, dang it. I thought it was magic. Not. Dang it. I should have gone with deflect instead. Oh well.
So that is a 28 on the attack. Go ahead and roll your block.
Oh, I didn't have one!
Okay.
May just add on to it, because I just think it'd be so funny that, like, punches me and I land right into the lemonade that Lula May had set out for Amanda.
That actually would be really funny. So yeah, she punches you just like right hook to the jaw. You take. What's that?
3d6?
19 damage. 19 damage. And you sort of hit the ground just outside of the minefield. She's very particular about not setting off the mines, so she makes sure you land just on the other side of the minefield. And you sort of skid across the ground, probably skipping a couple of times with the force of the impact. It's like a Dragon Ball Z punch where they just like go flying through mountains and stuff. Type of a punch. And you come skidding to a stop right next to the bottle of lemonade that Lula May left for you.
Okay. Does it get tipped over and goes on to Amanda's face since it was a nat 1?
No, I think. Oh, you're right. That was a nat 1. Technically, that should have been more damage.
That's okay. Like you got me past half health, so
I would hope so. Yeah, that actually should have been. Mental math is hard.
like, because the thing is like I think it might be funny. This is a damage when they hit the glass bottle, so that way it's two separate things.
38 damage, not 19. I'm sorry. I forgot you rolled a nat 1.
Okay, I'm still up.
Incredible. But no, it doesn't break the bottle. You just come skidding to a halt right next to it.
Then she'll probably pick it up and try to get off, like pat herself down, and then probably start to heal herself before heading towards the compound. Then I guess.
Okay. Al, you hear another couple of explosions, and then you hear what sounds like a sonic boom before, or as you see Amanda flying through the air backwards, and then skipping across the ground.
Oh, I wander that way with my dog in tow.
The dog is happy as a clam, though the dog is starting to shake like a chihuahua, and our dogs don't normally do that.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'll just give it a little less sugar then.
it's basically like a toddler that you just gave a 2 liter of Mountain Dew to.
It's gonna love me forever.
Yep. Right up to the heart attack. No, the dog's fine. It's just very hyper. Yeah.
So there's Al wandering up, smoking a cigarette and holding a dire dog that's nose shoved into a bag of sugar.
Yeah,
She's
and
like,
you see,
she's like ripped a hole in the front of the bag of sugar to like use the sugar bag as like a low-key muzzle for it right now. It
Yeah.
can lick out the end.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
and you
there's just a little tongue coming out of the end constantly.
Yeah, and you see kind of like Amanda, like their hair looks, for the most part, kind of like mostly kind of like looks like it was on fire. There's like one like that's singed. That's still
Stop
going
blowing
on.
yourself up. Go, kid.
Yeah, it went better than I expected. Not as good as I wanted, but hey, that's what you do by learning. And then
Cool.
starts drinking the lemonade.
See anyone else here? Pretty sure
Yeah.
Lula May is like trying to get us caught.
Yeah, I figured that much with the lemonade things.
Oh, I was thinking more of the taunting note to Tim What's His Futz.
Yeah, but that's how they flirt. I don't get it
I'm
either.
pretty sure he's not her type.
I agree. It
I'm
makes
pretty
no
sure her
sense.
type has chest hair more manly than he is.
Well, how else does it make sense for them to both be causing them to taunt each other? Like,
I think
I'm
she
not
just
very
wants to kill him.
Is that any different than dating?
Yes, a lot. You don't try to
Really?
kill the people you love. What's wrong with you?
Apparently, I did not have a good upbringing.
Imagine
no
there's a
shit.
couple of concussions wrong with Amanda right now too.
No, like literally.
No He's like, yeah, no shit. Come on. And she like leans down enough to like hook up under one of Amanda's like armpits and like haul her up to her feet.
Yeah, and then kind of like I'm thinking for comic speak, one of the loose hamburgers just falls out and is on top of the bag muzzle.
Oh, cool. She reaches, grabs the hamburger and gives it to the dog. Hey, this is my dog.
Hamburgers.
Nice.
Those are the sedative loaded ones, aren't they? Would be carrying my
I
dog.
forgot about that too.
Yeah, I was like, wait, oh shit, where did you get ham? Yeah, nope. And Al didn't know about that with hamburgers.
I take it back. It's gonna be like a toddler that you give a Red Bull to, and then like 5 shots
Ambien.
of vodka. Yeah. This poor dog. All right. I take it that you start heading towards the compound.
Yes.
All right, then we're gonna fast forward a bit. So Lula May and MJ, did you go to the compound and like start talking to Teds, or did you immediately start drinking?
MJ,
No, we wanted
MJ would have tried
to
to.
get Amanda.
Okay.
So I wonder if they would run into the like Ted
Yeah.
Rescue Brigade.
Probably along the way. Probably along the way, the Ted posse that you send out would run into Alan and Amanda and bring them back. We'll say it's middle of the night now. Well into the early morning hours, but it's still dark outside. What's everybody doing? How are they feeling? Aside from Amanda, who might feel a little concussed.
Lula May is sitting on the porch, drinking a moonshine and lemonade concoction.
Allison probably at this point is arriving up to the front gates, carrying an unconscious dire dog in her arms. Just being like, hey, so where's the Ted that looks after the dogs?
You got a dog.
That's Arms of the Angel, Ted.
Okay, where's Arms of the Angel Ted?
We call him Ange for short. He's down there. He's down in. And she points off toward like a shitty stable,
Cool.
like a stable, like a.
Also, don't eat whatever hamburgers Amanda tries to feed you. Pretty sure it made my dog sick.
No, we're not.
They were for the dire dogs that we're going to deal with.
Well,
over
if
in
they
the
were
cave.
fire floor dire dogs, they shouldn't be making gremlins sick.
It was the whole thing to make the.
I know. It's a good
So-
name for this dog, right?
Yes. Oh, who's the goodest boy? Who's the good? I can't. Do
Really
this.
likes the sugar that you use for your lemonade, so I'm going to have to start getting you to supply me with that.
I mean, you know, I got plenty. Of
Have you
it.
ever thought about making lemonade for dogs?
I mean, yeah, we can.
So you can have a lemonade with your dog.
I could make Ted aid if he would prefer something a bit more carnivorous.
That's a good idea. You could set it up through using the drainage from the Ted factory.
I could, even though, you know, I think I may find the smell incredibly off-putting.
That's what the lemons are for.
Fair. She's just gonna like kind of chill. I think she has like 2 packs of Al's cigarettes. And she's smoking and drinking her beverage on the porch, and like I imagine a rocking chair.
Uh-huh.
So Al's gonna go and take Gremlin to Angel Arm's head.
Drinking.
Yeah.
Good news. There's someone over in the minefield that's willing to talk.
She's Lulame is gonna take one look at Amanda and go, "Darling, when you're feeling better, could we have a conversation about your working definition of willing? And also maybe talk, but we'll start with willing."
Well, I did get below half health, but I did end up healing myself up above that. So I think I ended up real well. Though I'm still hearing a bit of a ringing, so
Yeah.
I probably need to fall asleep first.
Yeah, I think,
Oh no, that's me. Pipe came loose.
I think somebody out there in the ether, Amanda, may have been trying to give you and to teach you an important lesson. And I think when you're having your little nappy poo, you better really, really give a good think on that. We will see you in the morning.
Okay. And Amanda will just walk over to where the junkyard was and probably will just fall asleep inside of one of the tubs or whatever that's just laying out there in the junkyard.
That's not a bad.
Oh my goodness.
Allison is going to attempt to make hard sugar candies that she can dole out as treats to Gremlin, as well as taking what's left of the sugar packets to make a proper muzzle for them.
Okay. Let's do an art
What?
roll.
Oh boy,
That-
I have nothing in this.
Culinary, definitely, it falls under the art skill.
Yep, I know. This is why I'm having fun with this. It's like, welcome to things my character does not know how to do. All right, let's see. 15.
15, yeah.
I didn't blow everything up.
Yeah, it's not the prettiest candy, but it looks like candy and it tastes like candy, so you
I
succeed.
used one of the Teds to taste it.
Ted just looks at you and goes, the last time you gave a crystal to somebody, didn't that Ted explode?
Yeah, but this isn't like magic junk crystals. This is sugar. And I'm pretty sure Lula May isn't putting exploding shit in her lemonade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yet. He just like very cautiously like sets it on his tongue and lets it sit there for a few seconds before like actually trying to, suck on it. Like, all right, I don't feel explodey. It tastes good.
Okay, great. Those are gonna be gremlin snacks. Spit it out.
He just sort of looks like, this one's mine now.
No, spit it out.
I licked it, it's mine.
Spit it out.
Just crosses his arms and holds his mouth shut.
He sucker punches him in the gut.
So rude. Yeah, he does the oof thing, and this little piece of sugar candy goes flying through the air.
As long as Gremlin gets their treats. Those are Gremlin's treats, not Ted treats.
I'm just imagining, like, this being the equivalent of, like, a Scooby snack.
Yep. And then she's gonna sit there and work on making this muzzle.
Just
She's gonna spend the evening out with the dog.
in the background, kind of like when Amanda went to the junkyard, I imagine like they actually made a bed out of the parts that are back there, that involve the tub. And makes kind of like a bed out of them.
Couple of giant tires.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
Garbage bags.
Engineering
Okay.
mechanical roll I did to make a bed out of junk parts.
Okay, what was the score?
33 to make a bed out of a junkyard.
I mean, it's probably not the most cushiony bed that you've ever laid on, but the construction is sound. And you probably managed to find some springs and things like that to give it some, some give. So yeah, for a junkyard bed, it's pretty good.
Lots of support.
Yeah.
Like jamming a steel rod down your spine.
Oh, I can
Lots of
actually
support.
describe if you want, like, cause
Yeah. What does this bed look like? I'm
Okay.
really curious.
so roughly starts out with kind of like the actual tub for the big main part. Then you have like an actual the sleeves that people have torn off, using that essentially to build kind of like that with the springs to have this almost kind of a little bit of a bedding. And then on that is just probably have 2 like tires, then build kind of like a little bit of kind of like contraption of gears and such to turn on the bottom. So essentially you got yourself like a little like massaging kind of like rocking tub, to kind of just like rock you to sleep and have a nice and comfortable ride. And then when kind of like sun comes up, there be which I imagine is a calculator, because those calculators have their solar power that once it hits that light, wakes Amanda up.
Yeah, you can do that. That's cool. Yeah, 33 is plenty for that. So you make this bed out in the junkyard. You're able to do all the stuff that you mentioned. Unless there's anything that anybody wants to do further that evening, I'll say we can fast forward to the next day. And when we fast forward to the next day, you still don't know where Wesley or Jeb ended up.
Can we send some people to look for them?
Yeah, you're a platinum level Ted or whatever it was. Everybody listens to you, so if MJ says go look for them, they'll go.
I'm the manager, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah, she's going to try to. Well, so that everybody else will know too, about sending the Teds out to find
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah, they spread out from the compound and start looking for Wesley and Jeb. Another couple of Teds greet you all in the morning with a big steaming hot cup of coffee. Um,
No, thank you.
except for maybe Allison.
Allison demands that they pay her in cigarettes.
Okay, they bring you a couple.
I'd rather prefer an orange or a lemon, if you have one.
The Ted that brings you the Hoffy kind of looks at you, goes, orange or lemon? We've got lemonade now, because Lemonade Lady showed us how to make it.
Yeah. Did she have any lemons? Because last time I had coffee, I think things blew up. Yeah. That gave me the bright idea for the blue button, so I don't think I should take any coffee.
Uh, okay, I'll give you some lemonade. And he just stops for a second with this mug of coffee and chugs the entire thing in one go, and then zooms back to the kitchen. And comes back some minutes later with a glass of what could technically be called lemonade. It's not very good.
Allison's
Amanda
also
sh-
going to get them to give her a couple of cans of Ted.
Amanda just shrugs
Oh yeah.
and then drinks it. So I'm guessing physical fortitude?
Yep. It tastes like the store brand version of Country Time lemonade powder, where it's like
I know.
half the powder that it should be, so it's super super watered down
Yeah.
and also sugar free. Alex, your face.
It is a crime what they have done.
Okay, I'm one of those people who can taste aspartame, and
Same.
I cannot
Me too.
do it. It is the worst taste I have ever tasted in my entire life.
It's not the worst, but then again, I've tasted worse.
I have tasted contrast. I have tasted barium. I have tasted
Ugh.
multiple things that normal human beings should never ingest.
Say,
Aspartame is the worst.
the thing is like, I will give you, but there are worse than aspartame. And I'm going back to the days when I'd actually
know.
eat cardboard.
Oof.
He is
At any rate, it's hydrating. And you got a 17 on your physical fortitude. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't really make you sick. It just doesn't taste very good. Receipt paper is pretty bad. Yeah, that would be pretty bad. Aspartame doesn't taste too horrible to me, but it gives me massive migraines if I have even a little bit. So, aspartame is also on my definitely not list to consume. Okay. So it's a new day. Your new mission at this point really is kind of to find Jeb and Wesley, and to sort of catch up on things. I think that's probably a pretty good spot to start wrapping things up. But is there anything that anybody wanted to do before we do so?
I'm
I
gonna
definitely
go and find that doctor and see if he's got any like spare people parts that he can process into puppy chow.
Yeah, you go see Dr. Ted, and as you ask for spare body parts, he's like, sorry, pause, reverse it. When you go in and ask for him, he's like, yeah, I'm Dr. Ted, though I should tell you, I ain't a real doctor.
I don't care. Do you got body parts?
You mean that I'm not currently using?
Yeah.
I might have a spare liver or kidney or something back here.
Great. I need them for my dog.
It's like, yeah, he pulls out like a Rubbermaid tub and starts like digging around. And I'll spare you the details, but it's like a Rubbermaid tub of body parts. So you can imagine it sounds gross.
Mhm.
And he pulls out.
She makes sure to reach in there and grab a femur.
It's like attached to a foot. It's like from the shin down a whole human foot. And he also hands you like, I don't know, a liver.
Oh,
It's like,
thanks.
yep,
And she
just
turns
don't
to
ask
leave.
me. Just don't ask me where I got these.
I don't care.
He just looks at you for a second and goes, I like you.
Al, making friends by not caring. So
Making
yeah, she
friends
goes
with
out
the-
to make sure he eats his organ meats first.
And the dog just devours anything you put in front of him.
Perfect, and make sure she gets a bit of gets a bit of playtime in with that femur and the foot.
Yep.
Even maybe a bit
Now-
of fetch around the compound.
Dr.
Maybe
Ted's discount
there'll
bit
be
of body
some
parts
yelling
going
of
back.
no, not the live ones.
I was literally about to say, so you're teaching your dog that human feet are toys. So of course at some point it's gonna latch on to a live Ted's ankle. It'll be screaming.
Like, and
Said-
she's like, no, not the live one. And she's cracking her dog off.
Live.
What was that, Nikki? You came through super robotic.
No, she said it's not. She told the dog not to go to the live ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I think Lula May is going to get up and she is going to find the closest thing that seems like she's going to like find Sleeve Saya and tell him and get him to get her a space that is a lab that she can, or workshop area where she could start looking at the crystals.
That's what MJ. I want to ask for that too.
Okay.
Okay. So
Would you like some help, Lula May?
She's gonna kind of pause and be like, now Amanda, we may be doing very sensitive work with these here crystals that are a bit explosive. If you're gonna help me, I'm gonna need you to do exactly what I tell you to do, and I'm gonna need you to be very, very, very careful.
Yeah, no dead Teds.
Yeah, but I mean, like we can't decide that because we're bored, we're gonna make a sled out of something, or I don't know.
Hey,
Go
what
in.
else do you think we should do to have the narrative to progress?
I'm gonna,
that was
darling,
very meta.
darling. I got, sometimes you have like a parking lot in your brain. We're gonna take that. We're gonna put it in our little parking lot. And we're gonna have a long conversation about workshop safety. Okay, a very long conversation, probably real long. But we'll go and do this. And she's gonna like I imagine like a short montage of her like handing like Lula May like a screwdriver and being like, and like waiting for Amanda to like see Amanda like not do anything weird with it, and then she hands her like a screwdriver and like a block of wood and waits to see what she does with it, and like slowly works up to the point where she's actually like got her a set of tools and is showing her how to use all of them.
Oh, at any point does Al become aware of the fact that you're starting to do science stuff with the crystal?
No,
Al.
you're playing with a dog, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I'm playing the
MJ
dog,
can
but
tell
if you
her.
need it, okay. If that's the case, Al's gonna put like, oh, I already gave the crystals to somebody who can do that.
She's gonna be like, that's great, darling, but they're not here, and
Oh no,
Like,
they're just down the road.
right, but like I would actually like to know what.
Okay, well you could go and ask her too. She's pretty smart.
Perhaps when we make a trip back into town, we'll do that.
While you're talking, like Amanda has all of those tools. They put together essentially a multi-tool. They built out of that with the wood.
Allison offers Lula May the leg. You want to give it?
She's gonna look down at the leg and go, "Oh no, darling, no, not ever before noontime for me."
All right.
A nice multi-tool.
So before all of that happens, I did want to give MJ and Lula May a chance to ask Sleeve Sayef about the lab.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. So the two of you walk into it's technically like an office, but you can see where the sign that says head office has been crossed out, and in misspelled words it says throne room. Like the R is backwards. And it's basically just Sleeve Saya sitting on top of their desk. And as you walk in, they go, "Yes, please enter. Loyal subjects."
So Lula May is gonna bow and kind of like motion to MJ to do the same thing. She's gonna give a like a really good curtsy. And she's gonna say, your sleevelessness, Sleeve Saya. And she's gonna show him like the smallest crystal, right? And be like, we found this on some of our travels, and we were wondering, with your permission, of course, if there was a space where we could possibly do some work to learn a little bit more about how we could harness this, the power in this here crystal for our own purposes, and not requiring people to, ingest it and potentially explode.
Those are beautiful jewels. Yes, of course you can have space to study those. And I, of course, will expect you to make a crown out of these jewels for, your noble leader.
Well, I mean, it's of course I was gonna make a crown. What do you think I was gonna do? Not make a crown? She's gonna like go to MJ and be like, he didn't think I was gonna make a crown. Oh, Sleeve Saya, you are just your sense of humor is just always on point.
And they just go, ha, I know, right?
Yeah.
You might want to wait until at least we get the 5th or 6th generation. We get the bugs out.
Good point. You should test the crown on that one. And they point to Amanda.
Done deal, your sleevelessness. Done deal.
Great. I'll have some of the Teds prepare your laboratory momentarily.
Thank you so much.
And Wesley said this was going to be hard.
What did he say was going to be hard, your sleevelessness?
Well, this has been happening. MJ's had trouble curtsying.
That's great. I love that.
Yes.
Just day-to-day ruling my subjects.
Oh. Well,
handling, the non-crisis stuff.
Yes. No, that is very difficult. Your sleevelessness. If you would ever like to spend, more of your time in contemplation and working on your great treatise of the bare shoulders, I would be, I'd be more than happy to, while I'm here, of course, find a way to perhaps assist with some of the mundane aspects of running an organization of this size and import. If I would be able to, I'm not quite sure, but I would be more than willing to try.
That would give me more time to spend in the gravy bath.
Yes.
I tell you what. Alex, your face.
You are making sure to.
Bad texture, bad texture.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I hope that you are at least putting in the blender in ever so often. Otherwise, you're never going to keep the bubbles going.
Oh, of course. And of course, we're adding plenty of motor oil.
Well, just make sure you're going with high level oils. Otherwise, the two are not going to mess well together. You need high quality oil, or the gravy's just going to ruin.
Only
Yeah.
60 viscosities rating for me. That's for sure. Well, thank you, my loyal subjects. And I tell you what, Lula May, we'll bring you on as an administrative intern.
Oh, yeah. Oh well, thank you. I'm flattered. I don't know what to say. I'm honored to have the opportunity to demonstrate my competence.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for bringing this to my attention. We'll have your lab set up shortly, and if you could, tell the Ted on your way out to prepare my gravy bath.
Of course, your sleevelessness.
Have you tried it with the tea bag?
I have not. I will be sure to give that a try.
I would suggest the Earl Grey.
Hot.
Bravo for the Star Trek reference.
It's in my contract.
Earl does sound very noble. I'll try it out. Thank you. Bye, subjects. Leave now.
Yeah, she's gonna nod and like grab MJ, and tell the Ted, his sleevelessness would like his gravy bath and possibly an Earl Grey tea bag.
He just looks nonplussed for a moment and just lets out like the longest sigh. Like if you've seen Futurama, imagine like a Kif sigh. After Zap Brannigan has said something really stupid. He just
Amanda?
sighs.
Amanda pulls
All
out of
right.
a pocket an Earl Grey and hands it to the Ted.
Oh. Okay, that's one less up. Thank you. All right, boys, get the can opener ready. We gotta get that motor oil open. He yells out as he starts walking back behind the building. I think that's a good place to end it unless anybody has something else they want to do.
Just like I figured, one line to Lula May first is just going, I have some prototypes already in the junkyard if you want to try them out.
She's gonna nod and say, "Oh, I think, darling, that we are gonna be doing an awful lot of work."
So how long until we deal with the minefield? Because I really want to learn how they did some things.
Oh, I think we'll definitely get there, darling. But first, we got to get a handle on how we can harness these rocks without blowing up all of our friends.
Fine, if you want to do it the non-fun way.
Well, darling, you'll get a little older someday, and you'll understand that there's all kinds of fun you can have.
Ew.
As visions of like exploding Danco dance in
I do not want to have any sexual relations with Danco.
Oh no! She's like literally like thinking of blowing up Danco, like literally exploding it.
Like fireball.
Like
Lula May is daydreaming about terrorism.
I mean, I would call it seizing the means of production quickly.
I like that.
I would say.
I like that. Hey Raven, shall we make another one of your games about anti-capitalism?
Hey, every game can be about anti-capitalism if you give it enough try.
That's fair. Yeah, that reminds me of oh crap, what was the name of it? Something about business goose and the communist penguins. It
Yes.
was a really fun one-page RPG. Um, I'm drawing a blank on who made it now. It's very fun. I think it's Communist Penguins versus Business Goose or something like that.
Oh yeah, business geese.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Anyways, we're gonna go on a rate here in a minute.
Nice.
What were you gonna say, Nikki?
No, I just missed a few things with my connection.
Oh,
Do
sorry
they have
about
a
that.
lab to work it through?
Yes, that was the last thing that you got was the lab.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up. Let everybody tell us a little bit about where we can find them online, anything that they'd like to share, and their favorite moments. We'll go reverse order. So let's start with Michael. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you online, and anything else that you'd like to share?
My favorite moment was all your reactions to "Are you sure?" which just kept me laughing and laughing more and encouraging me more to do this very dumb idea. So many good serotonins from that. Thank you all. I know it's a bit selfish to go on something like you've done yourself, but it's just like every single one, like even Raven going, are you sure you might have to roll up a new character?
I have to ask you this as your friend. Are you sure? That was fun.
Here's the thing. Like after all, like before I healed myself, I was down to I believe 27 or 28 hit points.
Oh, Amanda's tanky.
Oh, yeah. And that was before I healed myself and got hit again. and so, again, I love it. I'm sorry for all of you, as I am a dumpster goblin that enjoys horrible moments like this. But thank you all for everything, like, because it's like both Lula May, Al, MJ. All the players were freaking out over me going, yes, that does sound like a good idea.
Hey, Hunters is all about chaos. I'm here for it. As long as you're cool with the possibility of your character dying, I'm cool with whatever you want to try to do. And then where can we find you online?
You can find me next on the Bardic Nox channel tomorrow at about 2 p.m. Central, 1:30 Central, depends on how long we're chatting before we actually start gaming, for Digimon/Clash, Digimon Tabletop RPG. For the most part, I'm just about here and there, looking for a game to play. Maybe one day I'll play with you. Remember, we're all in this together. I'm pulling for you.
Awesome. Next, we've got Icy Historian. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you online, and anything else you'd like to share?
Oh man, I don't follow rules. I have 3 favorite parts. I think my other favorite part was Maggie making her Amanda's reaction to Maggie being like, nope, I am punting you across the cornfield again. I thought that whole bit was really funny. And I will never not I will never not chuckle at the concept of MJ's knitting circle. I just imagine the idea of this like badass looking woman like standing up in a cemetery and like being like, yeah, no, my quilting group and I had our annual mixer last night. Like, I think that's great. And of course, being able to get into like individual character development, I thought was really great too. So that was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And we have a dire dog now, which is great.
Yeah. Fantastic. And then, is there anything else you wanted to share, or where we can find you online or anything like that?
I'm basically here and dabbling in one-shots there and other places, so, you know. But mostly here on Tuesdays.
Awesome. That does remind me, before I forget, we do have a one-shot coming up this Saturday at noon Mountain Time that we still need players for. I believe we're doing Call of Cthulhu, and the fantastic Cat is going to be running it. It's going to be spooky, but we're also going to be playing characters we've previously played, but as cats. I'm planning on playing a cat version of Tilda, and it's going to be fun. So if you're free and you want to play, let me know in Discord or Twitter or wherever. Let me know that you want to play, and I'll get you in. And then we'll pass it on over to Alex. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you online? Anything else that you'd like to share?
Oh, honestly, I think my favorite part is Lula May's just fucking righteous goddamn fury as she writes this note in lipstick and smacks it, knowing that he's still alive and out there, and she's going to make him come crawling to her.
That was pretty great.
She's a smart lady.
She is so fucking badass. Like, seriously, Lula May's like a character I never forget.
Wow.
Congratulations, you and her have made an impression on me. I have such a fucking crush on Lula May.
Well,
I kind of wish she wasn't straight.
Sorry.
I know, but she just gives off huge straight vibes.
The heart wants what it wants. Is the PG version of how we're gonna say that.
Understandable.
Yeah, no. She doesn't like know that Tim is alive, but she just
It's a feeling in her bones.
she does. She's not one to like have too much hubris.
You can find me next tomorrow evening on Patrick's channel, where Chatterbox, our DM, is going to be taking us through episode 1 of our Lancer game, Spare Parts Brigade.
It's pretty awesome. I get to check out some of the Session Zero on the VOD. And it's pretty cool. And I did the overlay and the cover art for it, so
Yeah,
another reason I'm super excited about it.
Oh my god, everybody here in that game is so perfect. We're getting like custom music made.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And like one of the other artists in the group, because I already had a bunch of commissions, and she's taking over, and the DM is getting commissions for portraits for everybody else's character, so we can all have
that's
proper
awesome.
character portraits.
Nice.
Oh, way cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
it's real neat. It's kind of terrifying being around people who are so pro at things, but also really awesome. And then Thursday, I'm over on Alien Jay's channel, where we're playing Stardew Valley still with Econorlax and Lavender Cat. And then I'm back here on Saturday.
Awesome. And we'll pass it on over to Nikki. Sorry, the overlay's being a little wonky again. But
Sorry, I keep
there we go.
losing my
There it goes.
connection.
No worries. I've been there. I hate it when that happens. But completely understandable. No worries. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you online? And anything else you'd like to share? Unless we just lost you again. Oh,
Trying to think. My favorite was
oh, cool! I can hear you. It looked like it froze on my end there for a minute.
froze here.
Okay.
My favorite part, I'm not sure. It was just a lot of fun as always. And I'm here again on
Tuesday. I know next Tuesday we're planning on having a game. If I remember right from Discord stuff, you've got a couple other games that you're gonna be in here pretty soon too, right?
yes. I don't have the start date yet, but I'm going to be in
Okay.
a Vampire the Masquerade game and
Awesome.
a Castle Falkenstein game.
Awesome.
So
And I
fun.
want to mask on this channel.
Oh yeah. Friday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yes.
Fantastic. I think that just leaves me then. My favorite part, I did rather enjoy the part where Amanda was going back in and we had that. Are you sure you want to potentially reroll your character? That was just fun. And that is definitely on brand for hunters. Is doing very foolish things in the name of entertainment. Um, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I very much enjoyed Lula May's interactions with Tim Rackett and getting to describe that like epic action movie driving out of the tunnel as the fireballs, coming behind the hero. That was a lot of fun. But the whole thing was great. You all had fantastic moments. Just doing really cool stuff with your little spotlights. And it was fun figuring out how the hell to get you all back together. So I enjoyed the whole thing. You can find me next tomorrow at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time for Exodus, the Sunken City, which is a Bioshock-inspired game run and designed by Vanessa. I'll play Niklaus Sebastian Adama, as well as Klaus, this sort of Mr. Hyde alter ego to his Dr. Jekyll. It's a lot of fun. Definitely come check it out. And then, let's see, Friday we've got Neon Devils at noon. Then masks or school days, the mask campaign at 6. And then Saturday we'll have our Call of Cthulhu one shot at noon. And then we will not have Animus on Saturday evening, as myself and much of the rest of the cast have Halloween night plans. So
I get to have a date with my girlfriend.
Yay, that's awesome. So that's where you can find me coming up next. Other things to share. As I mentioned earlier, we've got sponsors to talk about. One of those being Grinding Coffee Company. There's a link right there and the code in chat for 13% off your order. You go to grindingcoffee.co and use the code RAVVYN. You can get 13% off. And they basically they roast it right before they ship it. So it's ridiculously fresh coffee. It's really tasty. And then I have a couple things that a couple projects that I have that sponsor the show as well. Those being Fundamental RPG, which is the system this game runs off of. We're currently running on the playtest version of 2nd edition, which should be out sometime later this year. And then you can get 1st edition with the link that's in chat. It's on Amazon. And then finally, just launched Intrepid, which is a brand of sportswear and casual wear, as well as accessories like travel mugs and bottles and things like that, as well as mouse pads and game mats. Really cool stuff. It's really, really high quality, and it just looks cool. So definitely check that out. The link's there in chat as well. It's at my coffee, which is it's just ko-fi.com/RAVVYN/shop. And you can also get cool stuff like that drink coffee magnet that Michael's holding up. There's some merch from other games on this channel, stuff that I've designed. But yeah, definitely go check all that out. It's all really cool. I think that's pretty much it for announcements. Here's my link tree as well. The Discord for the server, for the channel server, is in that as well, which is another place you can let me know if you want to play in that one shot, or if you want to run one shots in the future or anything like that. I try to do those every Saturday, and again, that's at noon Mountain Time, is when we run those. So yeah, I think that's everything. We're gonna go head over to a raid. I had a raid in mind, but it looks like because they're doing a really cool show, but I think they've already finished. So we're gonna go. Let's see. Oh hey, Jay's streaming Bioshock. Speaking of Bioshock, so we're gonna go give Jay a raid. And quick reminder of our raid call right there. Thanks again. Thank you everybody for donating, watching, playing, and hanging out with us. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye everybody.